guess what? Back on the BMW M1000 single R. Just got back from France. For those of you who saw my Bordeaux videos, and it's great to be back on the Beam, although I'm not on it for long because I'm doing a major renovation and installing a lock-up security garage with a bike lift, a motorcycle lift. So my bikes will be nice and safe and secure, and I just have to relocate my motorcycles while that is going on. So that's what I'm doing. So this bike will be just out of action for a little while. I'll tell you one thing you notice, because I've been on the I was on the Transalp 750 doing my Bordeaux trip, and I've had a couple of rides on the Streetfighter since I got back. Straight away on this I noticed how wide these bars are. Super wide, super wide. Also notice how comfortable and smooth this bike is. Love it. And yeah, so I have been on a bit of a tour on the Transalp. That was a great bike. Hopefully, if you want to know about the Transalp 750, go and have a look at those videos. It's a digger station, I warn you. It's a combination of wine tours and country riding and cruising, and a slow review of that bike over 2 or 3 videos. I don't even know if I would have finished that series actually by the time I published this one, so I'm not quite sure what order they're all going to be in the end, but anyway, you'll get the gist. And context is everything, you know. When I jumped on the Streetfighter when I got back from France and rode it, having spent 3 days in the saddle of the Transalp, well, the Streetfighter felt like a sharp, agile killer of a thing, which it is. And it's just it's like a hyper bike compared to a everyday bike. And as good as the 750 was, and look, obviously it was way better at doing what I did on that bike than the Streetfighter, all this would have been. But as good as that bike was, these machines are just next level, aren't they? Really. But I have to say, again, you go back to my lazy throttle video, I have to say, the more I back-to-back the Streetfighter and the BMW, the more convinced I am that street riding is about bang for buck, unless you're prepared to ring out an inline-4 and ride it higher in the rev range, where all the vibes are. I do think the V4 format is a better road format. And for those of you who've been following me for a while, you'll know I love BMW, and you'll know I love the S1000r and the single R, or M single R. You know that, and I'm a big fan, big BMW fan. But I have to say, I think for street riding, the V4 format is a winner. Unless you're willing to ride, like I'm at 4,500 here, unless you're willing to ride in that kind of second gear all day long, and even then, it's no V4. That's my issue. Now on a racetrack it'd be different, on free-flowing back road riding it'd be different, but if most of the time you were doing this sort of thing, I think the V4 is more fun by a long way. That's my verdict, and I will be very soon, when I get the first service done on the Ducati, I'll be taking these 2 bikes out, this and the Ducati, for a a long day of riding back to back, to reveal the final word on the contest between the M1000r and the Streetfighter V4s. yeah, if you're prepared to ride it like that, and just you know, give it the beans all the time, it's fun, but it's just not the same in those lower mid rev ranges, which is where you are in the street all the time. It's just not the same as the V4. It's blatantly obvious when you back to back them, which I am today. I'm back to backing all three of my bikes today because I'm doing a bit of moving around. So I've got to take this bike somewhere, and then I'm going to Uber back, and I'm going to take the Multi somewhere else, Uber back, and then the Streetfighter while I'm just removing my bikes from my driveway while it gets rebuilt into a secure garage. So that's the go. That's the go. 28 degrees here today. It is beautiful. Had a massive day yesterday. Watched my rugby team win their semi-final of the Rugby World Cup. Then went out and played my first game of cricket this season and scored 72 runs, batting at number 4 for the Hardboard Hogs. And the mighty Hardboard Hogs, they are. We're into our third season, formed 3 years ago. We won 5th grade. Yeehaw! Then we won 4th grade. Now we're in 3rd grade and we're undefeated in that. 5 games in. Happy days. Happy days. This bike is so easy to ride. It's undoubted sort of key quality. It's just easy to ride. Did feel a little bit of rear wheel slip back there a couple times. Cold tyres, having it for a while. Back on the V4 Multi, and my point is proven in the first 50 meters. Yeah, it's just, and this isn't even the Streetfighter. This is the Multi. Streetfighter's next in my little back-to-backathon, and oh yeah, I mean, just awesome, right? Short shifting. You know, lazy throttle openings, and man, bang for buck, boom! Geez, it would have been good to have this in Bordeaux. Oh, wow. Oh, it would have been amazing. Yeah, I mean, as good as the Transalp 750 was, it ain't gonna hold a torch, as is to be expected, to the big V4 Multi. And frankly, the power plant in this is it's just better. It's just better than the it is better than the M1000r for just street burling. I am street burling. I've ridden the M1000r. I've jumped off that onto this, and this straight away, even though it's a 80V, straight away feels more fun. Oh shit! Like, that's hard to do, impossible to do, an inline 4. That immediate, instantaneous laugh factor. Yeah, I'm sold. I'm sold. Geez, Ducati's done really well with this engine. So I'm just going to take this to its resting place for the next little while I do my renovation. And then I'm going to ride the Streetfighter. Same day, back to back. Yeah. frankly, it's not even close. There's just something so safe and secure and solid and awesome about riding the Multistrada, and its handling is just so good for a big bike. I think if I could only have one bike, this would be it, and I can't wait to get my hands on a Pikes Peak to compare them. But if I could only have one of my three for the rest of my days, it would be this. Oh, there's a dude behind me on a bike scooter who's trying to kind of get in my grill on his scooter. Yeah, if I could only have one bike in my stable for the rest of my life, it'd be this. It'd definitely be this. If I could only have one bike now, just for the next, say, 5 years, and then I could change, I'd probably go the Streetfighter. Yeah, I'd have the Streetfighter now, and then as I get older, I'd probably go to this, if I only have one. But if I only have one now for the rest of my life, I'd have this. I'd really learn to master it. I'd track it and everything. Modify the crap out of it. First thing I would modify is I'd sort out that second to first downshift, and I would change the brakes and upgrade the brakes. Scooter dudes crack me up. They filter in and out, and they got no gear on. They always crack me up. I'm like, there must be different physics on the scooters. Like if you fall off a scooter, you don't get the same impacts, obviously, based on the way they clothe themselves, or not, I should say. I think if I had this bike as my only bike for the rest of my life, I would find a way to make it look cooler. I'd change the wheels out, make them look sick. I'd probably give it a paint job. I'd just bling it out, man. I'd go and get Brembo Stylema brakes on it, braided lines, exhaust. I had the sickest Multistrada on the planet. Probably get those neon green lights to put underneath, like you see on cars, green or blue, underneath it, so at night time it looked like some kind of, I don't know, erotic adult store. Anyway, look, I hope if you did take the time to look at my Bordeaux videos. Sometimes when you do videos, you don't really do them for your audience. You kind of do them for yourself. And look, that was definitely the case with those videos. You know, we had a great trip, and I just wanted to have a record of it for us. And I thought, well, I might as well share it. I'm sure some people will enjoy it, but it was, yeah. I will explain. I had some major editing fails on that trip with the way I took the video and recorded the audio, and I will do a little short video on what went wrong and how I fixed it, but it was major. You won't believe it when I tell you, and especially when you find out how I fixed it. So I'll divulge that soon. But yeah, look, I did those videos. It was for us, you know, just as a memento of our trip. I thought, oh well, why not share it? And, you know, do a little review of the Transalp 750 at the same time. So it was kind of like a bit of a bonus, really. Yeah, it was a real buzz. It was a real buzz traveling around France. I would have liked to have had a GS or even the NT1100, but you know, it is what it is. I can only get what I got, and look, I enjoyed that bike. Did a great job for that trip. If I was going on a really long trip and had plenty of preparation time, I wouldn't take that bike. I'd take this. For sure I take this. This is wicked for touring. But it was the tool that I was given and did a great job. No regrets. No regrets, babies. I'm gonna go under here. And then you get on the Streetfighter and it takes that V4 and it changes it. And in terms of sort of throttle punch, I reckon the MR is at the bottom, this is in the middle, and the multi's at the top. The way that's geared and the way it's tuned, it's got real middle low range punch. Don't get me wrong, so is this. But obviously a Revia engine here. And again, the Streetfighter just, you know, when you're back to backing them, it is just so easy to ride. Yeah, that V4 just sings, man. Sings, oh, yeah. So I've just done a quick back-to-back MR multi, and now the Streetfighter. And when I got on this, just the riding position, the seating position of this, just that's what strikes you first. You're like, ah, yes, the bar's a bit narrower. It is more aggressive than the MR, but the way you sit around this tank is divine. And then that beautiful V4 creamery, yeah. In terms of instant feedback, it's a narrow call between the Streetfighter and the multi. I'm going to give the Streetfighter the nod just, and then the MR in terms of just instant sort of reaction, in terms of which bike feels the sort of funnerest, sharperest, betterest. I think it's the Streetfighter in terms of just immediate back-to-back instant kind of reaction, if you know what I mean. And most motorcyclists will know exactly what I mean. As vague and as crazy as I am being, you will know exactly what I am getting at. First impressions, that's what I'm getting at. But yeah, the context is everything, eh? Like when you get up the Transalp and onto this, which this is the first bike I got onto after I got home, and then spent 3 days on the Transalp, and this just felt like, like a hyper beast. It just felt so good getting on it. Love it. I have to say 900 kilometers so far on the Streetfighter, and the quick shifter has improved out of sight. So when these things are new, the quick shifters in them are a bit clunky. And the test ride bike I rode was more worser than this one. But this has definitely improved. So as it's worn in, it's now silky smooth. It's up there with the BMW actually, which it should be, because the I know the Multistrada quick shifter is excellent, and I was a bit like, why is that Streetfighter one not as good? But it just needed time, and now it's excellent. Well, anyway, that's my quick back-to-back just through the suburb on a sort of bike moving day actually, but I thought why waste that opportunity. Same day, same conditions, back-to-back. Those are my kind of gut impressions of the 3 bikes back-to-back, and as you can all tell, I'm just in love with the Ducati V4 engine. I really am, and that's why I am starting to see both of these Ducatis as slightly ahead of the Beamer for, you know, that first gut feel, that first kind of impression you get. Doesn't mean they're better bikes, because you've got to consider all of the criteria, and of course you can see my video on all of that on my channel, a full review of these 3 bikes, which I am going to update shortly now that the honeymoon phase is coming to an end on the Duke, on the Streetfighter, so watch this space. But just for a sort of just for out of interest kind of perspective, back to back today, these 3 bikes, hot off the French trip and the Transalp 750. The Streetfighter bike has captured my heart, well today at least anyway. So I hope you enjoyed the video, plenty more to come. See you later.